Thank you. So we are out here live at Community Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired, Stockton, California, 2453 Grand Canal Boulevard. For our 20th protest in a push to get things to change because of poor treatment of clients and staff and terrible behavior on the part of the administration. We have some who are going to be making it in a bit late today, but they'll be here. And unfortunately, the administration is comprised of some very toxic individuals. Clients and staff have been mistreated. Intimidation tactics have been used. And so there's a group of 3, including myself, out here right now. And we will get started and make some noise. Yeah, she's gonna be a bit late, but she'll be here. And
Lisa with the signs.
No, she's sick or something.
Oh no, that's no good.
Yeah, Lisa was not coming, but I don't know if anybody was bringing the sign.
Well, we still have our voices,
Yeah.
so.
My sister's coming. She's quiet, but at least she's out here with us.
Hey, I can be loud. Can be loud.
Yeah, that's good. I can be loud too.
So,
Well, I don't have that voice like you guys do, but I'm proud to help any way I can.
hey, we appreciate you, Cliff.
You being out here is good, yeah.
The more the merrier. I mean, the presence.
Yeah.
The presence matters.
Yeah.
Oh, we have somebody pulling up here. I'm going to step off of this. Let's see. Ah, hello.
I thought that was Joe with a loud motorcycle.
But we are out here pushing for a change for the betterment of the clients in the San Joaquin Valley and surrounding areas, as well as for the staff, because the staff here are underpaid, overworked, mistreated, and the morale is low. So,
See Jennifer right there?
Yeah.
hopefully everybody's doing well out there.
Oh, he just walked away too.
Oh, and Joe. Bob.
Hi there. Glad to,
I forgot something in the hair, so I'm using it.
glad to have you with us. But we're pushing for positive change so that there can be a better impact on the blind community and the surrounding areas. And right. So we'll be starting here pretty shortly. So if you're out there virtually, thank you for your virtual presence. If nobody else does, I'll.
Is this the blue one?
Yes, it is.
All right.
That's the mask wrapped in my hair.
Oh, okay.
I have waters and granola bars.
All right.
And can I hand Bob this one with the strap?
Right there it is.
Yeah. I don't know where the strap went on my other one.
Oh, no.
I know.
You didn't bring Bob a coffee, did you?
I did not.
I got one this morning. It's all good. Okay. You want me to start us off, Jen?
Yes, please.
All right. It's time.
Do you need a water?
Good morning, everybody. We are out here for our 20th protest outside of Community Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired. 2453 Grand Canal Boulevard, Stockton, California, suite number 5. And we are out here to protest mistreatment of clients and staff, misappropriation of funds, lack of transparency, much more, including inappropriate behavior by one of the board members. Not sure if he'll make an appearance today or not, but we are out here standing together for the betterment of the blind community in the San Joaquin Valley and surrounding areas, as well as for the staff here who are, from what I had seen when I was working here, underpaid, underappreciated, and overworked, and not treated very well, and whose work contract clauses that read and other duties as assigned severely misoverused.
Yes.
There's a lot going on up here. So what we're going to do is start off with our primary chant, because this place needs to be open, not just the door. You know, I was doing some research. And the Lighthouse for the Blind up in San Francisco has instructions on their website. Even they're open to the public. They give you information about a code so that you can get in the door. They tell you what to do. You don't have to have an appointment. You can kind of come right in, because that's kind of what community is all about.
Amen.
It's about convergence. It's about coming together. So be open, not just the doors, but transparency. Because if you're going to have community on your sign, then you need to stand by that word.
Right.
If you're not going to stand by that word, then you need to take that word off of your sign, because it means nothing. Because you have a community out here on the sidewalk.
Yes.
So then be kind. While I was working there, I saw a coworker who was bashed behind his back by the executive director. I had heard about some clients who were driven, who were called high maintenance.
He's done. You don't.
I had some calls from those clients while working there who were in tears. And I was told that clients will, they'll just kind of make up stories, whatever. But one client was in tears because she lost out on opportunities because of something that was blamed on me. But I didn't have the authority to do what needed to be done.
That's right.
That wasn't my job. My job was a trainer, to be a trainer, and I loved the work that I did. But I hated the environment. I hated the stress and the anxiety, because there's a lack of kindness.
Yes.
A lack of kindness causes a lack of morale. A lack of morale causes a lack of cohesion.
Yeah.
And so the unit cannot properly function when the morale is low.
That's right.
And
Trickle
that,
down dysfunction.
that's right, dysfunction. They use the word family, but that only applies if you're a yes person. If you're not a yes person, you're shunned from the family.
Right.
That's not a family.
Nope.
So be open, be kind, listen to the blind. This center is supposed to be for the blind community.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be for the betterment of individuals who are blind or otherwise visually impaired, who have either already lost their sight,
Yeah.
or born with sight loss, or are in the process of losing their sight, which can be a huge negative impact in someone's life.
Yeah.
And the last thing that someone needs when they're going through something like that
Yeah, that's for
is a
sure.
lack of kindness,
Yeah.
Right.
is intimidation, is learning to speak up for themselves, to be told, if you continue to talk like this, we'll have to reevaluate your case.
Yeah.
No, it's hard enough to advocate for yourself when you feel like that no one's going to take you seriously because your eyes don't work. The Center for the Blind should understand that, and they should encourage people
Yeah.
to stand up for
instead of
themselves.
tearing you down.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, with that said, be open, be kind, and listen to the blind. Be open, be kind, and listen to the blind. Be open, be kind, and listen to the blind. Be open, be kind, and listen to the blind.
Fix the blind
Center.
center.
The blind deserve better. Fix the blind center. The blind deserve better. Fix the blind center. The blind deserve better. Fix the blind center. The blind deserve better. Fund CCBVI. They bully, hide, and lie. Defund CCBVI. They bully, hide, and lie. Defund CCBVI. They bully, hide, and lie. Defund CCBVI. You're doing good. Welcome.
Just showing up with a little motivation.
Hey, we're glad you're here, Husani.
That's what we need.
It's time to make a start. Show us that you have a heart. Time to make a start.
Show us that you have a heart. Time to make a start. Show us that you have a heart. Time to make a start. Show us that you have a heart. So, who are we standing out here on the sidewalk? Some registered clients here who get mistreated by a board member
And not served.
but you're used for the numbers. You're used for the
Right.
statistics, which help to cause an influx of revenue.
Yeah.
You know, just like that old Ted DiBiase song. Money, 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 money.
Everybody's got a place.
I'll tell you what.
Taxes,
Donations, support blind degradation. Your taxes, donations, support blind degradation. Your taxes, donations, support blind degradation. Your taxes, donations, support blind degradation. So, I saw a lot in that short 6 months that I was here. I'll tell you that. And there are others here, clients and former staff, who can attest. I'm going to be reaching out to another former staff member because, well, I have the skills to find them. And I have some questions for that person because when that person, I don't know the circumstances surrounding their departure here, but Executive Director Elsie Harada complained about how that person didn't do their job. Now, I was typically up here once a week, and I saw that person doing a lot of work. But, you know, in an abusive environment, when there's no accountability taken, it's always someone else's fault. And I'll tell you this, a master's degree means nothing. You need a heart. You need a heart. You need to encourage the development and growth of people in the blind community and show them that they have hope ahead of them. That their life isn't going to be consisting of being torn down and expecting to live off of the crumbs that fall off of the master's table. It should be about showing that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. About showing that people who are blind or visually impaired, people who are losing their sight, that it's not the end of the world. That they have the abilities. They can learn the abilities and not just put individuals in who may not be qualified to work. There are qualified individuals on the staff there. Good people. Good people. The staff isn't the problem here. It's the administration. As you've heard stories, the board treasurer likes to get in blind people's faces while stating that he feels threatened by people who are mostly blind at a protest in front of a blind center.
Shutting us down for trying to speak up and be heard because we had no other option but to go public because this place shuts you down, holds services and employment over your head, and will not listen to the blind.
That's right. And typically they'll expect you to look at your employment, even if you're underpaid and you have to, you know, either pay $100 or so round trip to go to work or be gone from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. when you're a single parent. You need to look at that as the sacrifice that you have to make for the privilege of having a job as a blind person. Well, I'll tell you what. Like I said, I loved the work that I did. I loved hearing clients go to tears because barriers were broken in their lives because they thought that they couldn't do certain things, and they found out they could. That's what it's about. But the thing is, you know, a sacrifice is when you're giving up something for the better good. Now, I'm thankful for this group because they've helped me to be able to come to these protests. I wasn't getting paid extra to come up here. I was just getting more stressed. And
remote work.
Right, for remote work at that point in time. And the thing is that I've seen gaslighting going on in here. Gaslighting, for those who don't know, whether you're a viewer or someone standing out here, is when you basically try to make somebody go crazy by altering their memories pertaining to a particular situation. Now, I was originally told, and I have it in email, that because of the inability to afford $800 a month to come to work, that I could come up every other Friday. But then I got chewed out because I wasn't up there every Friday. So essentially 4 days a month of my pay was gone. And that's the sacrifice that I needed to make for the privilege of having a job as a blind person.
Why wouldn't you work with your employees to make it a better place for all and inclusive of the blind instead of just tormenting people and making it as difficult for them as possible if you are supposed to be supporting the blind?
That's right.
We know that we have transportation difficulties, but it doesn't have to be that difficult. And you, as a control freak, make people come up here to do remote work, knowing the cost physically mentally, financially to that person, that is unforgivable.
Yeah.
That is not teamwork. That is not a family. That is not community. We need to include the blind at all levels in this organization, respect the blind,
Yeah.
and be a center for and of the blind.
Yeah.
That's right. See, I wouldn't have minded coming up here. I would have even moved up here if I didn't feel like I was entering into another abusive relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
But after seeing how things were, after seeing how I could be talked to, and the thing is, in an abusive environment, whether a relationship or a work environment, there's a give and a pull and a give and a pull, which is done, whether intentionally or by a pattern, to make a person pliable. And if people don't see the signs, they get caught in the cycle.
That's right.
Yeah.
I had to get out because it wasn't worth going to the hospital again.
Yeah.
Losing your soul.
That's right. That's right. So, a change needs to happen here
Yeah.
for the betterment of the community. You know that word that's on the sign that involves people besides yourself? The people who may be entering into blindness, feeling hopeless and discouraged and alone. But when they don't get the help, and when they get intimidation, and they get gaslighted and manipulated, that's a problem. And it needs to change because there should be hope for people. That hope shouldn't be taken away or shouldn't be dangled on a string.
Yes.
This thing doesn't like
We
me.
need, I know there's a lot of feedback, I think because we're right across from each other. I'll try to angle up. But we need a true change in leadership.
Yeah.
When we went public a year ago in August 2021 with our first letter to the editor, left no other resort because this organization continues to disregard, disrespect, dishonor, and disserve the blind.
Yeah.
A few months later, the executive director at that time quit. No apologies, no explanation. Maybe she couldn't take the heat, but she left it to a crony, and the board has put that person in as the executive director. The sickness continues. The toxic environment continues. This person is arrogant. This person disregards the blind. This person will not meet with us, listen to us, give us a voice. That is not the kind of leadership we are seeking. We expressly told the board in January when we found their hidden job posting on an internal webpage that this candidate that we had complained about repeatedly was unacceptable for that position.
Yeah.
And though her abuses were noted to the board, she was continually promoted and now is the permanent full-time director. I was in a meeting with this individual yesterday, and it's very telling. Her introduction was how she was the executive director of this agency, how she'd been here 7 years and worked herself up from a volunteer. Yeah, she said worked, not wormed or manipulated.
Right.
But there was no mention of the services. That was not the important part of the introduction. It stopped there because it's all about that individual. It's all about tooting their own horns, not about serving the blind.
Yeah.
And that's just another example. The operations manager, when some of us started here, old Bonnie, same thing, worked, quote unquote, her way up from a volunteer to a position of power.
Yeah.
And it was never about serving the blind.
No.
It needs to be about service to the blind,
Yeah.
by the blind, for the blind,
Yeah.
for the community, for blind of all ages.
Yeah.
And this is what we are here to secure, is equality, opportunity, security for the blind, respect and inclusion for the blind. That is sorely lacking at Community Center for the Blind.
Yeah.
We are here at 2453 Grand Canal Boulevard, Suite 5, Stockton, today until 11 a.m. and every week until these changes happen.
Yeah.
Please join us. You can reach us at 209-200-8589. Stockton Blind Alliance. StocktonBlindAlliance@gmail.com. And you can view us on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube on our Stockton Blind Alliance pages.
Yeah.
We will advocate for you. We want to be part of this community. We want your support.
Yeah.
Let us help you, and please stand with us. The blind are not invisible. We should not be ignored. we should not have to be out here 20 weeks in a row since May 17th to get attention of this organization.
No.
To have the public say, what is happening to the blind people? Why are the police being called on peaceful blind protesters?
Yeah.
Why is the administration letting this go on and on and on, making disparaging comments, calling the police, a board member coming, yelling in the face of a blind woman, a man,
Yes.
using that word loosely,
Right?
Shame on
who
that.
had the contact info for that individual and us as a group, but never reached out individually until he appeared without identifying himself, yelling in my face because he couldn't handle the truth. Well, the truth would not have to be out here on the sidewalk. The blind would not have to be out here on the sidewalk if this organization embraced and listened to the blind.
Yes.
That's right.
Thank you for your support. We're Stockton
Blind
Blind
Alliance.
Alliance. We're
Standing up to help the clients. Stockton Blind Alliance. We're standing up to help the clients.
Stockton Blind Alliance.
We're standing up to help the clients. Stockton Blind Alliance.
We're
Standing up to help the clients.
The veil needs to
Drop.
drop. The
Exploitation has to stop. The veil needs to drop. The exploitation has to stop. The veil needs to drop. The exploitation has to stop. The veil needs to drop.
The exploitation
Has to stop.
Let the clients
Grow.
grow.
Administration has to go. Let the clients grow.
Administration has to go.
Let the clients grow. Administration has to go. Let the clients grow. Administration has to go.
Blind respect you
Never
never
show.
show.
Tell her what I hit the road. Blind respect you never show. Tell her what I hit the road. Blind respect you never show. Tell her what I hit the road. Blind respect you never show. Tell her what I hit the road.
Hit the road, Jack.
And about those financial improprieties, one of the biggest ones was the secret sale of our old building.
Yeah.
That was, as we had always been told by the operations manager, the staff, a restricted donation for the purpose of serving the blind, a building twice the size of this cramped rented office, owned outright. So many community groups put so much into that building. It was perfectly designed for the blind. It had a backyard, a training kitchen, a studio apartment, a hall, a ceramics room, even weaving at times. So many different opportunities and spaces for the blind to meet, mentor, and mingle, and grow.
Now that was a real blind center.
That was a real blind
Sounds
center.
like it. Sounds like it.
We didn't even believe it was possible it could be sold because, like we said, Bonnie Hamad told us it was a restricted donation. The staff at the time said it couldn't be sold. So when the last director, Michelle, finagled her way with the board to try to get to this North Stockton office, we didn't want to move. We were not consulted, the staff. The clients did not want to move. Michelle wanted to move. She twisted the board up somehow to make this decision. But we were told it was temporary. You know, people were trying to shoehorn into this place. Oh, when it gets a little safer downtown, we'll be back. If we knew the intent was to sell the building, that was even a possibility, we would have planted our feet a hell of a lot sooner in that place,
Yep.
not knowing this would happen.
Yes.
Even then, we had a few brave blind protesters peacefully stand with signs. They immediately had the police called on them because the public couldn't know that there was a problem.
Yeah.
That paranoia rules everything, ruled the move to this location, and they wanted to get rid of any social programs. They wanted to turn it into a small rehabilitative office, and they didn't want the blind included. There's no space for them, and it's obvious that the objective of that director was to shut out the blind.
Yeah.
Now that's lived out with the doors locked. You can come in by quote appointment only, a pre-approved appointment.
That's it.
To this facility. Now, we ask continually when we can return to the old center. And that director, Michelle, said, you know, if for some reason we can't return there, you know, if there was a sale, that money would be used to buy a new facility. Where is that money? Where is that new building? You sold our building in January 2020 and did not disclose it until June of 2021. Why? so we wouldn't put a restraining order on the sale?
Yeah.
Was it illegal? We want this investigated.
Yeah.
And the secrecy, the lack of transparency, if nothing else, is a crime to the blind.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were told we could return. And this is not just about that, but it's just indicative of the whole mindset of this organization. Who is the priority, the blind or the administration paying thousands and thousands of dollars a month to rent this North Stockton office, all this office space, and the doors are locked?
Yeah.
Well, how does that make fiscal sense? As a board member, how can you stand behind that decision? Anyone with a conscience about the misconduct, the mistreatment of the blind, and the perpetual discrimination against the blind in San Joaquin County needs to step forward and work with us. Get rid of these problematic leaders. The executive director, the president, and the treasurer has added himself to that list with his misconduct towards us.
Yeah.
We were pretty sure that he was against the blind, but he made that perfectly clear.
Yes, he
By
did.
going by without identifying himself, no basic decency,
No.
basic blind courtesy. We always ask people to identify themselves when they're speaking to us,
Yeah.
to tell us who's in a room instead of ganging up on a blind person. All of a sudden, there's
Yeah.
4 people in there when you're supposed to
Right.
be meeting confidentially to address a concern.
Yeah.
And it turns into you are the problem because you have a concern, or you have a constructive criticism, or an idea, or a suggestion. The thought police are in full effect here.
That's right.
So we need those 3 individuals gone. The board president, who says she has a bylaw to discard anything, in her opinion, bullying or harassing without sharing it with the rest of the board, as we were told in June of 2021. We already knew that they were walling off information. A couple board members have been embarrassed to being in earshot of our concerns and have confirmed that they haven't heard some of these concerns, underlining that, you know, they're not subject to the Brown Act, and they're so proud of that they're a private, independent nonprofit. They think they're not accountable to anyone, but they need to be serving the blind. They need to be transparent and accountable to the public as well. They don't want your input. They say they have services that you can take or leave. That's not the case. The blind need to have a say with our lived experience about what is best for the blind. We need to be included on this board of directors at all levels, and those problematic people need to go. We will work with the rest. So please stand with us to make this a quality center for the blind once again.
Yeah.
That's right.
Tell us where the money went.
We want a new board president. Tell us where the money went. We want a new board president. Tell us where the money went. We want a new board president. Tell us where the money went.
We want a new board president. We want an audit.
Where did the money go? We want an audit. Where did the money go? We want an audit. Where did the money go?
We want an audit.
Where did the money go?
They like to blame whatever they can on the pandemic.
Thank you.
The Lighthouse and other organizations, as Bob said, are open.
That's right.
They try to say sometimes that you need masks and social distancing here, but they don't even want to offer anything with much pressure from us. They started to offer some hybrid, some in-person services to give the appearance that they are letting people into this building by pre-approved appointment. But this is the first time since they got all that CARES Act money to put in touchless features and shields and all that people have been allowed in this building. That's been a long time. That's been a long time. We never got, our activities coordinator, a wonderful woman, Janet Whitehouse, got laid off for the pandemic, never brought back. Even if the blind were all remote, don't you think the blind could have benefited from some kind of outreach, some kind of socialization, some kind of services? That didn't happen for months and months here.
No.
Then they wanted to offer something on Zoom when they never provided Zoom training to clients. And some don't have the capacity, even with training, to use a smartphone, to use systems like that. They bought a conference call system that had a simple fixed number to use for their support group, which, as Bob can tell you in a moment, is anything but supportive.
That's right.
But they refused to use that conference call system for their, quote, open annual meeting we finally pressured them to start having, where your hand is lowered if you try to raise it, where you can't comment or ask questions, where they roll out a dog and pony show and then give you canned responses, if anything. That is not an open meeting. And they said, look, we have a client board representative, a woman in her 80s. But all of a sudden, no, nobody can help that day, and no one can grant her accommodations request 3 years in a row as the client board representative to be included in that open annual meeting, because it is not about the blind.
That's right.
They had that service of the conference call because they know not everybody can access Zoom or other platforms like that. But that is just disgraceful. And it shows the attempt to say, look, on paper, we have all these wonderful things, but there's nothing real to back it up. It's a mirage.
Yeah.
That's right.
So Bob can tell you how confidential and how supportive the support group is here before you send your family into that situation.
Oh, yeah.
If you have any interactions with this place, please reach out. We're willing to be an advocate in person or on the phone with you as you go through the process here, so that you aren't through a meat grinder. We don't want children, seniors, our friends, people that haven't had enough, that haven't been out here. You know, it's hard enough to be out here for some of us that are blind, but we've been through so much. We are standing up, and we will use our voice to help others.
Yeah.
That's right.
Thank you. We're standing up for Bob because he's the latest execution here in this slaughterhouse called Community Center for the Blind.
Yeah.
I had to quit in 2017 for my health. I was driven to that point. I knew I could help better from the outside after I got myself better. Thank God Bob is getting himself together, and he is here to stand up for others so that this doesn't happen to anyone else. But it continues to happen here. We need your help.
That's right. If you do decide to reach out to us, your information will be confidential. It won't be disclosed out here publicly unless you give permission otherwise, but you can reach out to us. We are people who have suffered at the hands of this place, which even when I was working here, I looked at as communal slaughterhouse for the blind, because that's essentially what it is. Many people leaving here feeling broken, feeling like there isn't any hope.
That's right.
This place is a parasite that drains hope from people, also that they can bring in the money from Rotary Club meetings, the PR.
Yes.
Now, we're going to speak out. If you care about the PR, you probably better look at working with people, because it's not looking too good. Support group. When I first started working here, I was asked to facilitate a support group. And I remember the first day of the support group, I had a talk with Elsie, and I was told that I needed to kind of dumb down my words. That many of the people who attend the support group are simple. So you're already categorized if you're coming to that support group, just so you know.
Yes.
Then, another occasion, somebody had a negative opinion about the center, and there was a little bit of a dispute in the support group, nothing major.
Wow.
And I was still a fresh employee, and I asked Elsie what I should do, to which I was told that anybody who speaks negatively about the center, I am to note down their name and what they said and send it straight to her.
Wow.
So they are making a list and taking names. No confidentiality, folks. No confidentiality. You're not entitled to your opinion.
Wow.
I did it once because I was afraid I was going to get in trouble if I didn't, and my conscience hit me, and that was the end of it.
Wow.
Was the end of it.
Did you feel you were hired as a spy?
Yes, I did, actually. After all of that, you know, and seeing how clients who were motivated and who wanted to work, they were labeled as high maintenance.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to work. They wanted to be there at their appointments. Clients who were communicative were treated like scum if they missed an appointment. But when somebody quit who was an instructor of said clients, and I've heard this happen on multiple occasions, they were not notified. They were prepared for their meetings, but there was no instructor there. when they raised this to the director and said something about it, one such client was told, if you continue to do this, we're going to have to reevaluate your case. Sorry, this isn't a retail store. This is a service-based organization, and the word servant is derived from the word servant. That means that you're supposed to be here for the people. If you're not here for the people, get out. It's time to walk out that door and find a place that's better suited to you so that somebody who does care about people can come in and help to build a brighter future. Offer a support group that does have support. Confidentiality, trust. See, the problem is when you micromanage, you don't trust anybody. And your lack of trust, you probably don't even trust yourselves. It's a big group in that administration of people who are all about money. They're always bumping into each other, acting like a cohesive unit. They don't trust one another. They don't trust the staff. The staff is discouraged. They were when I was there. I was told to not talk too much to my coworkers, but I could trust talking to the executive director.
Talk about the future. Talk about young children and young adults coming in, newly born people in the future that, if not for us, for them in the future to come.
That's it. That's it right there. We're out here not just for now, but for the future. See, according to some of the major organizations, the rate of blindness and visual impairment is going to increase over the coming years. And the children need a place where they can see that their blindness isn't going to stop them, but that they have a brighter future ahead of them, that they can, and that's the key word, can. They can use technology to succeed. They can use skills that they acquire to succeed. But that can be limited when there's discouragement and intimidation and bullying. The future of adults coming in who are losing their vision, thinking that they may not be able to work again. If they're always feeling threatened, they're not going to want to come back. And if this is their first experience with training and independent living skills, and they're walking out feeling like scum, they're going to stay stuck. It's hindering growth. And that's the thing. In order to grow a plant, it needs soil, water, and sunlight. But when your soil is rancid, when the water is acidic,
contaminated.
There you go, contaminated.
Contaminated water.
And the sunlight is blurred out by a smoke screen of lies, conceit, and derision. People aren't going to grow. They aren't going to flourish. And that needs to change. When you have a board treasurer who represents a center for the blind, who doesn't follow blind etiquette, who doesn't believe in freedom of speech, for crying out loud, gets into the face of a blind woman, but tells the police evidently that he was having a cordial conversation with a few blind ladies outside of the center. If you're lying about things like that in public to make a false police report, what are you doing with the money, dude?
Where did the money go?
That's right. That's right. That is shameful.
And lie behind everything that they're doing.
Talk
Just to keep the money going in their
Talk
pocket.
about, it's not easy being blind. It's not easy going through it by yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And
I can definitely do that.
You can have, and you need somebody that's been through it to help you.
You got it.
Somebody that's gone through it, and it's. I've gotten more help here with other people than what the staff taught.
You got it. And like what was mentioned there about blindness. Now, I was born with mine. I was raised in a small town. There weren't really any other individuals around who were blind. And the thing is I didn't start interacting with the blind community until I came out here to California. And the thing is, that's the truth. In order to make this journey, it's not best to go it alone, but you have to find a place that helps to promote growth. You need a place where you know you have support and where people aren't going to be talking behind your back, saying that you're a great person to your face and saying, "Oh, they're high maintenance," behind your back. And that's the leadership, folks. The outcome The outcome of a place like this is going to be a reflection of the leadership. And I've asked the question before. They said on ABC 10, I believe that they serve around 100 clients. What's the success rate?
Yes.
What is the success rate?
Where are the 100 clients? That's my question.
And some of them are right out here on the sidewalk.
No, I'd like to see all 100.
Oh yeah, me too. The thing is,
Do they even?
there should be a place that walks along with others and helps to guide them in developing the essential skills so that they can have successful and independent lives. Not a place that makes individuals who are going through blindness feel as though they have to take what they get or they're going to be beaten down. No, they should be able to reach for the stars. They should be able to reach forward, not down into the ground and take what's thrown at their feet. They should be having values instilled in them that just because their eyes do not work, that they are not inferior human beings, but rather that they are people as well, that they can be successful, that they can do something with their lives. But when leadership is constantly putting people down, intimidating them, all in the name of money, like I said, if you're not going to act like a community, at least remove the word from your sign. For crying out loud, the community is on the sidewalk.
The community's been on the sidewalk for the past 20 weeks.
That's right. That's right. We're 6 weeks shy of a half of a year that this has been going on. I'm thankful to be up here with these folks. Aside from the coworkers who I got to briefly know inside, who are good people, underpaid, underappreciated people, people who are just moved around like pieces on a chessboard. The people out here are also wonderful people who have a desire to help, to instill a positive philosophy of blindness in individuals around them. Families who reach out, who have someone who's going through blindness. It should be about helping others. Seeing the word that has been long forgotten in this place was right there. Others. Service, again, derives from the word servant. It involves putting yourself down in someone else's shoes. Providing something for someone that's going to better them. Don't treat us like products in a retail store. We are people. Your future clients are people. But when you're treating your clients, your registered clients, some of whom are out on this sidewalk, like scum, when the board treasurer gets in the face of a blind person, then goes and lies to the police by the sound of it.
Exaggeration to
That
have
is sad, right?
2 cars with 3 cops with activated body cameras show up on a group of 3 blind individuals and a senior citizen and a teenager who was in a car
I feel
who
great.
only came to stand between this big sighted man and this blind woman and say, they're blind, back off, what are you doing? Why? He didn't know who he was.
This is something I've refrained from saying for the past several weeks, but I apologize because I'm going to say it verbatim.
Don't do it.
Oh, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And this is being streamed out to multiple platforms right now.
Is this a quote?
Yeah, this is a quote.
I wonder what's that big red button?
I was in the office with Executive Director Elsie Harada. I'm pushing that button because Mr. Loudmouth is. I didn't come up here for nothing. You know, I came up here to work. I would have moved up here had I not seen how abusive this place was. I would have been devoted, but the problem is that the phrase "at will" is used as a threat. It's used as a threat. And I have 2 kids that I've been on my own with. If I was to move up here with them, and at will they decided that I was gone, my kids and I would be on the street. And the sad thing is, I could see them being totally fine with that. Totally fine. So, I was having a conversation in the office of the executive director. And just to eliminate any confusion, it's Elsie Harada. It's not a former director. Okay? I'm going to be clear and concise here. And We were having a talk about standing up for yourself, among other things, including the dislike of NFB. And Elsie told me about herself, and forgive the this is for the public because abbreviating it isn't going to help. If it's going to be said there in an organization that's supposed to be a professional, and it's wanted to be kept secret, might as well state it out here. The phrase was not professional. That's not the kind of person who should be in charge of others and interact with people.
No.
That kind of attitude is not conducive to the development of people around you.
No.
It pretty much shows that you don't care about the people around you. That the people around you are stepping stones so that you can get where you want to go. It's not about you. It's about the people. That word others that's been dropped from this place I don't know how long ago needs to be brought back so there can be a brighter future for the blind community in the San Joaquin Valley and surrounding areas, both now and in the future. And it needs to happen now.
Yes.
20 weeks is too long.
Yeah.
Change needs to come.
Yeah.
We will be out here as often as we can until that change happens. You've already shown you don't want to talk to us. You want to talk at us.
Yeah.
We are not inferior beings because we're on this sidewalk. We are people who have been hurt by you.
Yeah.
Right.
The one who's supposed to help. You don't go to a hospital to be abused and to be tortured.
Yeah.
You go to a hospital for help.
Yeah.
This place should be like a hospital for people who are going through one of the most traumatic situations in their lives.
Yeah.
Right.
But this place is a slaughterhouse. It's an emotional slaughterhouse. Leaves you feeling hopeless
Yeah.
and desperate and alone. I walked away from my job and went back down to 1/3 of my income with my 2 kids because of the toxicity of this place. Now, I'm sure it's probably been spread around it. I just couldn't handle it. I mean, it's already been stated that my communication skills aren't that great. Hey, I've been out here talking for a long time.
Right. You quit. They didn't find it.
That's right, I quit after a hospital visit on March 25th, which is noted on the documents. Due to work-related stress, a blood pressure of 216/100 is not very good.
No.
That's an hour and a half after leaving this place and taking a lift home and being stuck in traffic. And after an hour and a half when the ambulance showed up, 216/100. Never had high blood pressure like that before. Never been on antidepressants until recent. See, that's the thing. No work environment is perfect. But when something is toxic to the point at which it puts you in the hospital because you're stressed, you're afraid that you're going to do something wrong, and you're going to, at their will, be stuck back down in the system. And the blind community has an unemployment rate which is astoundingly high.
Right.
And they'll hold that over your head,
Yes.
make you feel grateful,
Yes.
make it seem like they're doing you a favor.
Yes.
Well,
Changing that unemployment number for the blind and visually
they should be.
Yeah.
They should be.
Yeah, they should.
We're doing kickball and stuff.
But the issue here is that the treatment here, I'd rather be struggling financially, and it's a struggle.
Yeah.
It's a big struggle.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'll get a job again. I've had people say, oh, you just need to go and get a job. And try doing it without eyesight. No, I'm not throwing out my disability. I'm sticking right there.
Right.
You can walk out and get a job. Believe me, I'd be doing it.
Yes.
But the statistics, I'm trying to beat the statistics. I'm learning computer programming, among other things, to do something my own.
Yeah.
But that's me.
Right.
But I also care about the other people.
Yeah.
The people who are coming into this place and walking out feeling hopeless.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a client of the Department of Relation and you're watching the stream right now, you are right to request training from a different center. Do not let them coerce you into going here if you're not comfortable with it.
Yeah.
If you need an advocate, come to one of your meetings with a counselor. You can reach out to us.
Yeah.
You are allowed to have an advocate with you in your meeting. If you want training elsewhere, until this place changes, I can't recommend it. Not with a good conscience. I don't recommend cults.
Hey, thank you.
I do not. But change needs to happen. And we'll be out here until it does.
Yes.
Right.
We will continue on. We will stand up together. And we will use our voices.
Yes, we will.
And others here who you know, some will say that their voices are soft. You know what? Your presence matters.
Yeah.
Right.
Your spirit matters.
Yeah.
It's because of you and your encouragement that we're standing out here.
Yeah.
I'm running my loud mouth. Jennifer's speaking up.
Yeah.
Others are speaking up because of the encouragement. Family members and friends, people who are just generally supportive of what's going on here.
Yeah.
Guess what? We see you.
Yes.
Our eyes may not work, but we see you.
Yeah.
Your PR is out the window. Your credibility is out the window, and you've done that to yourselves.
Yeah.
2 police calls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Board treasurer treating the people who he's supposed to serve
Yeah.
like scum.
Yeah.
We see you.
And the board president that's been here over a dozen years over those 3 failed abusive leaders
Yeah.
letting it all go on needs to go.
Yes.
The treasurer needs to go. The executive director needs to go.
Yeah.
That board president has had every opportunity to make a change, to listen to the blind, but there's no appropriate grievance policy here.
No.
How are you supposed to repeatedly bring complaints to the director or the case manager, which now are the same individual, about that person, and it goes nowhere? And if you go to the board president, because there's no mother organization, there's no one over this place. If you go to the board president, she doesn't share with the rest of the board, or she does and they don't care either. There's no resolution. You are just left broken. You are not valued. They go on and on. The good people leave, the bad people stay. There's been bright lights and points of lights here off and on. We do our best to keep it going. We do our best to help from the outside. But this is the vendor for San Joaquin County.
Yeah.
They are getting the state funding.
Yeah.
They are getting your donations.
Yeah.
What are they going for? Your taxes,
Donations. Support blind degradation. Your taxes. Donations. Support blind degradation. Your taxes. Donations. Support blind degradation. Your taxes. Donations. Support blind degradation.
We requested a forensic independent audit of this place to see how funds for the last 20 years or so at least have been used to best serve the blind, particularly the $400,000 they got from selling our old building out from under us secretly. Where has that money gone?
Thank you.
We read recently online that in 2019 the rent here was $93,000 plus.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Wow.
I'm not sure what all is included in that figure. It's still ridiculous. We had a bought and paid off building.
Yeah.
We had a nest egg
Yeah.
that paid salaries and everything just off the interest until that was cracked into to get the crackpot scheme to move here, to turn it into a little rehabilitative office, a nice office for the administration,
Yeah.
cramped quarters and too many hats for the staff and no room for clients.
No.
Right.
How did that work out in the best interest of the blind? We know they do little audits for the Department of Rehabilitation with the money that they get for who they want to serve, when they want to serve them.
Yeah.
We want to know if you've had a bad experience with Community Center for the Blind or Department of Rehabilitation. We want to help you, and we are gathering this information because people need to know. They need to listen to the blind. They need to see there's a serious problem here.
Yeah.
We've gone to the Board of Supervisors. We've gone to City Council.
Yeah.
We've gone to the Mayor's Task Force for Persons with Disabilities.
Yeah.
And we have definitely gone up the levels at Department of Rehabilitation with no satisfactory response yet.
Yeah.
This is an independent private nonprofit. They say they don't need your input or want your input. They have services you can take or leave. That's not acceptable.
No.
No.
We need you to let them know they need to listen to the blind, they need to listen to the public, and they need to serve the blind they purport to serve.
Yeah.
Right. I'll make note of this. While working here, I had some experience in the assistive technology lab. For those who do not know what assistive technologies are, they are pieces of software and technology that aid people with disabilities, in this case particularly, those with visual disabilities, to be able to perform at or above the norm. The computers in that AT lab run slower than Windows 98. Tried to work with them and they crawl. They do not have it's necessary to functionally use the assistive technologies that are on. And working individuals in that lab was training one on how to use Salesforce, which I mean, some clients I just tell you what can be getting logged for being out here today.
Right.
And sales,
I'm within the radius of the building.
Jokingly.
Yes.
But the thing is that I had to sit there multiple times and say, hold on, this computer's crawling. I worked on a computer that was for one of the workers here, and that worker, he seemed to know exactly what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
That worker is one of whom I heard talked down about. He took the essential steps in fixing the computer system and it didn't work. And after looking at that computer, they had a version of Windows on it that was outdated by 6 years. Had to be updated and it still wasn't properly working.
Wow. But he probably got blamed for the problem, right?
He did get blamed. He did get blamed.
I've been there.
He was told, or I was told privately by the current executive director that this particular former coworker, is slow and he takes a long time to get things done. That's really shameful, you know? This is from my experience with him when I was working with him, very, very intelligent individual. I could actually have in-depth computer conversations with him. He knew what he was talking about. He knew what he was doing. But he was humiliated in front of me. See, because they wanted me to be their replacement director of assistive technology. But that's the thing. I'm not about the title. I was here for others.
Yes.
I was here because I cared about people. That title, nothing. And if I was offered a salaried position while working at this place, I wouldn't have accepted it because it would have been taken advantage of.
Yes.
See, it's like we're treated like scum, but the nature of this place is parasitic. The people who work here, who actually know what they're doing, who actually care about the clients, are the hosts. The administration is the parasite.
Yeah.
We are nothing more than cash cows. The blind clients, nothing more than cash cows. That's what it's about. Like I've said before, and I'll say it again, I loved the work that I did here. Although it was told that I was no longer here because my communication skills were poor. Wow. I was lied on by ULC, and you know it. You know it. Shame on you.
Right.
Shame.
I know when I quit here in 2017, I could not stomach being the outreach, and I and probably Joni Bauer here as staff have always been considered the face of the Blind Center. Well, I'm trying to lose that face until that face is worth wearing again. I am here for Stockton Blind Alliance as a community advocate. I wear many hats in this community. I am a client of Community Center for the Blind. I had services for over a year, well over a year. I'm sure I'm still counted on the rolls, but I was mistreated. I was ostracized. People were constantly questioned, or, why are you talking to her? And I had to be a wall between the administration and staff, between the administration and clients. Constantly degraded everything that was a concern in a meeting. What do you know about this, Jennifer? Blame for everything. It made me ill. It made me ill to legitimize this place by genuinely going out in the community. But I did not speak up for years. I did not trash it to the community then, as I was accused of doing. And I just could not stay silent anymore because I've heard so many broken people. I've heard so many experiences, and I know my own. I mean, I physically went back through old emails and everything that has happened to us over these, at least I've been part of this since 99. David Vigil and I went to the board in 2003 about the operations manager then. Nothing changed.
Nothing.
There was a director for a moment. He said he was the board president. Give him 6 months. When he was director, things would change. Then he got popped with kitty porn on his computer. I guess that wasn't somebody that we could put our trust in.
No.
But again and again, there has been no one that will stand up for the blind. This has given us the courage to be out here.
Yeah.
You know, God bless our family and friends.
Yeah.
People that can't be here, that are working, that can't afford to be here.
Yeah.
People that are just afraid. We
Yeah.
are standing here for them and for the future blind.
That's right.
We love our families and your support, your sacrifice.
Yeah.
Everyone is family. This is what true community is. And we will continue to stand out here until that exists in a blind center in Stockton. If this one insists on running itself into the ground, we will start another one.
That's right.
We want your help.
Yes.
We don't want to reinvent the wheel. We're not here to trash and tear down this place. We
No.
want to help. We're willing to be
Yes.
part of that process. But if they refuse to change,
Yes.
we will ask your support in forming an alternative, and this one can burn down.
That's right.
figuratively.
Yes.
I'm tired of being accused of making threats for something I say.
Yes.
So don't misquote me.
So come on,
But
board. Come on. Talk
The
with
board
us.
of directors needs to
Thank you.
get a new president, a new treasurer. They need to put someone that we would trust. We've said before, we would trust Joni Bauer to step in as acting director as she has before, while they conduct the search for a quality executive director that is vetted by the blind with community stakeholder input. And the blind need to continually be part of this process, not discriminated against.
No.
Not especially for NFB affiliation. God forbid we
Right.
share a positive philosophy of blindness
Yeah.
and raise the expectations of what it means to be blind.
Yeah.
A place that only wants to throw out crumbs and have grateful, groveling blind people.
Yes.
Oh, look what we've done. Like Bob says, what is your success rate?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Ask Department of Rehabilitation, what is your success rate? They sign off on your certifications.
Yeah.
I don't know what staff that they spoke to that give you these glowing recommendations.
Yes.
It wasn't me. I'm sure it wasn't Bob.
No,
Yeah.
it was not.
So those are either hand-picked, canned statements or outright falsehoods, depending on
Yeah.
the person. So we want truth, transparency, accountability, appropriate responsiveness, and inclusion of the blind, and we will not go away until that happens.
Yeah.
That's right.
The pandemic is not an excuse
No.
to keep us out. It's not why you have a mass exodus of clients and staff.
No.
Quit using it as an excuse.
Yeah.
That's right.
COVID's no
Thank you.
excuse.
You need to stop the blind abuse. COVID's no excuse. You need to stop the blind abuse. COVID's no excuse. You need to stop the blind abuse. COVID's no excuse. You need to stop the blind abuse.
The blind
Want more. Hurry up, unlock your doors. The blind want more. Hurry up, unlock your doors. The blind want more. Hurry up, unlock your doors. The blind want more. Hurry up, unlock your doors.
And that treasurer said, shame, shame, shame. Shame on him. He's the one to blame. Treasurer said,
Shame, shame, shame. Shame on him, he's the one to blame. Treasurer said, shame, shame, shame. Shame on him, he's the one to blame. Treasurer said, shame, shame, shame. Shame on him, he's the one to blame.
Tell us where that money went.
We want a new board president. Tell us where the money went. We want a new board president. Tell us where the money went. We want a new board president.
Tell us where the money went.
We want a new board president.
Blind respect you never showed.
Tell her Rada, hit the road. Blind respect you never show.
Tell her
Rada, hit the road. Blind respect you never show. Tell her Rada, hit the road. Blind respect you never show. Tell her Rada, hit the road.
Hit the road, Jack.
That's right.
Yes.
Like David said,
That's right.
it's time to make a start. Show us that you have a heart. It's time
To
to
make a start. Show us that you have a heart. Time to make a start. Show us that you have a heart. Time to make a start. Show us that you have a heart.
be open,
Be kind and listen to the blind. Be open. Be kind and listen to the blind. Be open. Be kind and listen to the blind. Be open. Be kind and listen to the blind.
Fix the blind
Center.
center.
The blind deserve better. Fix the blind center. The blind deserve better. Fix the blind center. The blind deserve better. Fix the blind center. The blind deserve better.
Is that the treasurer?
I'll say this. Won't mention any names for the sake of confidentiality, but just for those inside, if you're listening, or if you're watching the live stream, because you say you don't know about any of the stuff that's going on. Thing is, we have had people reach out to us about the circumstances here. I spoke with one personally who had concerns about having dealings with this place. I gave them some alternative resources. See, you care about the money in your pocket's going to get hit because it's about others. This is making a difference. You may not see it because you're more blind than any of us are.
Right.
Our eyes are open. People are looking for answers. Just because you hide inside those walls doesn't mean that this community out here on the sidewalk is not making an impact. We are. And you know what our goal is? Others!
That's right.
Not money. Not clout. Not titles. But others. Unlike you want to put blame. Go look in the mirror.
That's right.
Look in the mirror and tell us what you see. Because the change needs to happen from within. Nothing's going to happen on the outside until change happens on the inside. And it's long overdue. Time for change. And we will be out here. The community on the sidewalk will stand strong. Sometimes we may have smaller numbers, sometimes greater. But those who aren't with us here physically are here in spirit. And we will stand together, not for ourselves, although you may categorize us as a bunch of troublemakers.
Saying nasty things.
Disgruntled.
We know who the nasty thing is.
That's right. After finding out about me being lied about, Elsie, no. My communication skills developed quite well over the years, but here's the deal.
Thank you.
Just because I didn't bow down and grovel at your feet and talk openly. See, I don't talk openly with people who I see as abusers.
That's right.
I've been through it. It's not my communication skills. It's your interpersonal conduct skills. You need to work better with others. We will stand together.
There's no team building here.
No. No, there is not.
It's an exercise in narcissistic abuse. It's an exercise in power trips and a toxic workplace.
That's right.
It trickles down from the top. You can tell they don't care. The staff are underpaid and mistreated. Volunteers mistreated. Everybody's thrown under a bus. You should see the pile that's accumulated over the years.
That's right.
That's why there is a mass exodus of clients and staff. You can ask any of us. They even reach outside if they contract with the school districts who are having their own problem with keeping quality training in place with teacher the visually impaired. They reached out because a student trying to advocate for himself was not satisfied with the remote training here. Another student was not satisfied that he would be going to college the next year, and the director overrode his recommendation, giving him a PC instead of a laptop. Is he supposed to lug that around campus?
Exactly.
But, you get brownie points for saving Department of Rehabilitation a little money. That is not your concern.
No.
That is between the client and Department of Rehabilitation. You are supposed to be providing adequate services for the blind. You can't staff adequately. You can't assess adequately. That is not your job. You cannot do AP training when you have not been trained to do that. You are the director, hopefully not for much longer, the director of client services, which is a joke, and you need to go.
That's right.
Blind respect you never show.
Tell her Rod I hit the road.
Blind respect
You never show. Tell her Rod I hit the road. Blind respect you never show. Tell her Rod I hit the road. Blind respect you never show. Tell her Rod I hit the road. As an AT instructor here, I was not certified when I was hired. I earned my certifications within about a month, and I was also independently. I actually paid for those myself because I didn't want them acting like that was theirs. After seeing how it was, I'd rather just pay it out of pocket, out of my own paycheck. Yeah. And I earned 4 different certifications within about a month. For me, it was about the clients. I was asked to create a recommendations template, which I was criticized for. But see, as an AT instructor, part of my job was that of assessing the needs of a client. The problem is the executive director has the power to edit and modify those assessments. So if you're a client here and you didn't get what you thought you were going to through an assessment, don't just look at your AT instructor. Look above. Thing is, I was trying to look out for the best interest of the clients, not the best interest of the center. Because they always say clients first. But if you follow that, you're doing wrong. Unless you're a yes person. Yes, I'll do that. Yeah, you want me to jump 1,000 feet in the air? I'll do that. Unless you do that, you're not part of the so-called family. Thing is that I would recommend to clients what they needed based upon their circumstances because it was about their success.
Yeah. Right.
I wanted to see the clients succeed, which inherently would be success on the part of the center. But my recommendations were not up to par. But see, that's the thing. After talking with my clients and doing my job, though I wasn't trained on how to do assessments, I didn't know. I figured it out myself, and I built on it. And I looked out for the best needs of the clients. That wasn't good enough because things would be changed. The situation that Jennifer discussed about a desktop being recommended for a college student, I was told to recommend a desktop when a laptop would be noted and needed. That's the thing with this place. It's not about the clients. It's not about the success of the clients. It's not about growth of the clients. It's about money. And that needs to change. Yes, an organization needs funding in order to thrive. And that's understandable. But you also need clients in order to thrive. You need a success rate. Again, what is the legitimate, honest success rate? Outside of any letters of intimidation, getting people to write and say that they wouldn't have a job if it wasn't for this place. What is the true rate of success for this organization? That's what needs to be heard.
Yes.
That's what needs to be seen. Yes. I bet you it's not as high as what you're stating it is.
And with the gaps in service that we have seen habitually over these decades, we know if you are starting to lose sight, you may well hold on to that job with the right training techniques and adaptations, the right support delivered in a timely fashion. That has not been the case here.
That's right.
People have waited months or years to get a response to phone calls and emails. It gets blamed on a receptionist or someone else is always thrown under the bus.
Yeah. Right.
Whether there is one or not in place, the buck stops with the administration, and there is a total lack of appropriate services at Community Center for the Blind. You need people that care.
Yeah.
You need people that are qualified and improving themselves and lifting others up.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that is not the case.
And that's the key word she used there, lifting people up.
That's right.
We want to have older people here that want to come and congregate and learn programs and do things like that so they can feel good about themselves.
Right. There's no limit. There's no age limit on what you can do to improve yourself. We want to raise those expectations. We want the blind of all ages interacting, mentoring, and lifting each other up.
Yeah.
We have actually lived the experience of being blind. We have a lot of practical knowledge and information to share.
Yeah.
Why are we continually shut out of the process by people who say or think they know better?
Yeah.
Right.
They are raking in the money for what? For what? What can you see here except broken lives? There are occasional high points, as we have said, but we want to not have to always be a watchdog organization for a crappy Center for the Blind.
Yes.
Not only inadequate, but abusive, but toxic.
Yeah.
It needs to change.
Yeah.
They have no appropriate grievance policy, as we stated. You know, they want to sweep everything under the rug. They want to ignore you.
Yeah.
They say, oh, what about the past? Like, people are just whining about an old building. There are lots of damaged lives.
Yes.
I know that we've tried to bring concerns about people that are being sexually harassed, abused in this environment. It's been laughed off. It's been ignored.
Yeah.
Someone's been told, go home for a few weeks, and then they come back like nothing because it's obvious who is more valuable to this organization.
Right.
I've seen this over and over and over, and there's no safe way to have your grievances addressed here when the bullies are in charge.
That's right. Wow.
They bully, hide, and lie.
Defund CCBVI. They bully, hide, and lie. Defund CCBVI. They bully, hide, and lie. Defund CCBVI. They bully, hide, and lie. Defund CCBVI.
Tell us where the
Money went. We want a new board president. Tell us where the money went. We want a new board president. Tell us where the money went. We want a new board president. Tell us where the money went. We want a new board president.
Blind respect you
Never show. Tell Harada, hit the road. Blind respect you never show. Tell Harada, hit the road. Blind respect you never show. Tell Harada, hit the road. Blind respect you never show. Tell Harada, hit the road.
The president and the treasurer, along with her, the sooner the better.
That's right.
We'll work with the rest.
That's right.
We have been trying every way possible to reach out to this community for your support. The blind are not invisible. We are grateful to everyone who listens. You may not speak up publicly. You may not stand here with us. We feel your support. But the more people out here, the more people reaching out to this place and demanding change, the better.
Yes.
We are doing our best.
Yes,
we have
we are.
limited resources. We need your help. But there are lives that are being damaged as we speak.
Yeah.
And we need your help now. We need you to convince this arrogant, independent nonprofit that they are accountable to someone. Because they do get public funds.
Yeah.
They do get private funds.
Yes.
Your taxes go to the Department of Rehabilitation, which funds at least 2/3 of the budget here.
Yeah.
Please let them know this is not acceptable.
Yeah.
That it needs to change. To listen to the blind.
Yeah.
We have a broad spectrum of people that are willing to put in their time and effort to make these changes. With people with consciences that care, that will stand up and do the right thing.
Yeah.
We are not unreasonable.
No.
We are traumatized for years as a blind population.
Yeah.
We don't want to see anyone else go down this path.
No.
We want to change.
Yeah.
It's like quarter
10:52.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's time to make a start. Show us
That you have a heart. It's time to make a start. Show us that you have a heart. It's time to make a start. Show us that you have a heart. It's time to make a start. Show us that you have a heart.
Be open.
Be kind and listen to the blind. Be open. Be kind and listen to the blind. Be open. Be kind and listen to the blind. Be open. Be kind and listen to the blind.
Fix the
Blind center. The blind deserve.
Fix the
Blind center. The blind deserve better. Fix the blind center. The blind deserve better. Fix the blind.
So some of our people have to leave apparently. Woo! That's a honk of support, not a
Yes,
confrontation.
yes.
Thank
Have a
you
good
for
one.
Everyone who has been out here, lending their voices, lending their honks, sharing our posts on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Stockton Blind Alliance. Thank you, Bob, for streaming this for us, using your talents for the betterment of the blind. Thank you, everyone that supports us We want more people verbally and physically, visibly supporting us, or they won't listen. We are a marginalized population. We are a minority, the blind, even in the disabled community. But we have a lot to offer. We have heart. We need your support. We are here for you. Please be here for us. We're Stockton Blind Alliance, 209-200-8589. We'll be out here again next Tuesday, October 4th, from 9:30 to 11 a.m. Please stand with us then. I know the schools are going on break next week. If you're available, please stand with us. We will always have the events posted, as everyone knows, on our Facebook at Stockton Blind Alliance.
That's right. All I'll say is, if you're watching this and you would like to help, contacting this place is probably not going to do it. They'll tell you it's everybody else's fault and we're just some disgruntled troublemakers.
The gatekeepers are the only one who will get that info.
But if you want the other side of the story, give them a call. You may not get a response, or you may get told we don't discuss personnel issues like they told the news. However, if you see the severity of the circumstances that are here, reach out to your local state representative up in the Capitol. They have some influence. They can make a change as well. You don't have to be here local in Stockton to be able to help.
That's right.
You can help virtually, and we do appreciate all of the encouragement and the support virtually and here in person. And again, Stockton Alliance, 209-200-8589, Stockton Blind Alliance at gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in. To those watching this on the replay, thank you for your support and for your encouragement. Y'all take care.
And we will. Everyone who stopped by, stand with us.
You want me to end it? We'll wrap that up. Thank you. Thank you.